Shalom Zion. All honor, glory, and praise goes to the Most High Yahuah. In the name of Yahusha HaMashiach. Brothers and sisters, I pray that y'all are having a blessed day today in the Most High. Every day is a blessed day to wake up and still be alive and breathing and get a chance to serve Him this day. So I pray that y'all all take advantage of serving Him each and every day. But before I get into this particular video about these Chaldeans, that bitter, hasty nation, y'all notice that I've made some other channels, and I think I kind of overstepped my bounds a little bit. I think I'm just going to focus on this channel for now. I really don't have time with all the other things I'm doing. Even though I wanted to start the new channel, Yahuah Mighty Ministries, and focus on that, but I think I just need to just shift this channel a little bit and bring that over here and just stay focused on this channel for now and keep that other one as a backup channel. But I'm keeping the websites. So whatever I post to the websites, I'm still going to post here on Son of the Most High channel. And the Hebrew Alternative, I think I might just do those things on this channel. But I'm going to keep the website that I'm building right now. When I get the Hebrew Alternative website together, I'll let y'all know. I'm just going to keep things centered here for now, because I got too much going on outside of this channel to really put my time and focus on these other channels as well. So sorry about that, Zion. I know it seems like I'm running around with my head cut off, starting this, starting that, and then next thing you know, I got to stop. But you know, life hits us in different ways and different areas, and we have to adjust to that. Even if we had good intentions on doing this or doing that or the other, things pop up at times, and you have to adjust to that. And that's where long suffering comes in with your brothers and sisters, when you have to make that sudden adjustment, and knowing that you was trying to do this, but all of a sudden you had to make an adjustment. So yeah, I'm gonna get it together, Zion. But anyway, back to this subject at hand. These wicked, crooked Chaldeans, modern day Chaldeans, Zion, is the kingdom of Babylon. These modern day Chaldeans is worshiping all these idols that the Most High separated Abraham from way back in the day. And these same modern day Chaldeans picked up the same deities that they was worshiping back then and made it their own. Now, who is the modern day Chaldeans? I just want to remind y'all. I know I did a video about this in the past, but it's good to remind y'all who the modern day Chaldeans is. And sometimes we got to go to other books, other manuscript to get understanding on who is the modern day Chaldeans. I knew when I read here that it wasn't the Chaldeans of old. I knew it was talking about today. I just didn't know how to prove it. And I know some of you knew that this was talking about these heathens today ruling the world. But how do you prove that? Well, I'm listening to the Hebrew Israelite Radio Network as well, but this how you prove it. Hey, that's not what I clicked on. My computer been tripping out lately. But anyway, Zion, this is the War Scrolls. I'm gonna put a link so that you can download this on Yahuah Mighty Ministries website. And I'm gonna put some other links to other reference books and stuff like that as soon as I create my reference tab on there, and that you can download these and examine them yourself. Now I read the whole thing before I put this out there now, and it does line up with script. As a lot of this comes from the regular scriptures anyway, besides some fragments found from the war scrolls in here. But I'm just going to read some segments of it. And the dragon was wroth with the woman. This is Revelations, right? And went to make war with the remnant of her seed, which kept the commandments of Yah. Who the only people that mainly keep the commandments of Yah? That's us, the 12 tribes. And have the testimony, Yahusha, the Messiah. And as we're waking up, they see this. They don't want us to come back to the laws, statutes, commandments. To them, that's blasphemy. That's turning against their God. Y'all understand? And I'm going to show y'all who the God is. Y'all bear with me. A lot of y'all know where I'm going, but there's some people who don't. So I'm going to go over that. So let's scroll down here. For the instructor, the rule of the war, the first attack of the sons of light shall be undertaken against the forces of the sons of darkness, the army of Belial, the troops of Edom. Here you go, Esau, and its modern day troops today. Moab. That's China right there. Some people gonna say, nah, that ain't China. You got to put it together. In Daniel chapter 11, it at the end of the chapter talks about Moab being a great multitude. So either it's China or India, and we know the Indians of Shem. The sons of Ammon, Japan. The Amalekites, of course, that's a part of Edom. Philistia. This is some Hamites. And the troops of the Kittim of Ashur. Kittim of Ashur. Your modern day Europeans, Greeks, and Romans. Supporting them are those who have violated the covenant. And now you have the whole world following after the beast, don't they? They support these Greeks and Romans around the world. Now let's go further down. Get some more understanding of this. Wait. Let me go back up here, right here. Defining the sons of darkness. These are the sons of darkness in these last days. And all the other ones is supporting this beast system that they formed around the world. And don't forget, Edom is at the top of this. He's at the top of this. Now let's go down to page 20. Y'all keep this in mind when you're reading the scriptures. For behold, I roused the Chaldeans, that bitter and hasty nation, interpreted. This is what that means, a bitter and hasty nation, interpreted. So when you go back here and you read the Chaldeans, it's talking about a bitter and hasty nation. This concerns the Kittim, who are quick and valiant in war, causing many to perish. All the world shall fall under the dominion of the Kittim, the Greeks and the Romans, and the wicked shall not believe in the laws of Yah. Their deity, God, stopped them from following the laws of Yah and their church system, Christianity. That's why you have to come out of that system. You can wake them up and pull them out of that system, but don't go joining with them, going preaching in their churches and stuff. That's some other deity's house. We never did things like that. We never went to somebody else's land and start preaching in their deity's house. The Most High never ordained that. Go find me some script where he tell you to go in somebody else's place of worship where they worship Belial or Molech and go start preaching his gospel. No, the thing he told us is to tear those things down out of our land and kill the people that worship those deities, if he ordained it at the time, if they wouldn't turn from that. But anyway, modern day Chaldeans is Kittim. Esau has merged with Kittim. Go read the book of Joshua, chapter 60 through 90. It explains about when Esau first began to merge with the house of Kittim, with the Greeks and the Romans. long, thousands of years ago. Their bloodline been infiltrated the Romans and the Greeks. Though some of them did remain in those lands of Saudi Arabia, but they're not ruling the world. Esau is the end of the world. They may be at the top of Saudi Arabia, the Caucasian looking ones that's running Saudi Arabia. Esau might be at the very top of that pyramid over there in Saudi Arabia, but he's not all of them. There's some messed up doctrine going around that's confusing a lot of people from who is Esau and where is he. The scriptures tell you where he went. You just got to read and study for yourself. Now, who is over the children of Kittim, who is valiant in war and causing many to perish, who is like their daddy, Satan, who kills, steals, and destroys? Well, let's go over and find out in the book of Enoch. This is the entity that is over him. This is the third angel that fell, or that is talking about, at least here. You know what? Let me just go back to where I was. This is a different book. It doesn't have that cutoff chapter. Anyway, that's all right. Let's start from right here. And the name of the third is God Riel. That's how you pronounce this, not Gad. I know some of y'all want to say Gad, but I looked up this A, and it's a R sound, A-W sound for this A. God. This is the reason why they call their deity God. And God. God Riel is their deity. This is the one that showed all the deadly blows to the sons of men. And he led astray Eve. Here's the one that was in the garden, Zion. And he showed the weapons of death to the children of men, the shield and the breastplate and the sword for slaughter, and all the weapons of death to the sons of men. And from his hand they have gone out against those who dwell the dry ground or earth, from that time forever and ever. This is their deity right here, Zion. Stop calling upon G-O-D. It's their deity. Their church has nothing to do with the Most High. You know, I had someone ask me, well, what about all the miracles done in JC name? All you got to do is go to 2 Thessalonians. Let me go there real quick. I'll come back to Jeremiah. We're going to jump on Jeremiah next. 2 Thessalonians chapter 2. Let me just go there. I'll just scroll down. And remember, even him who's coming. Wait. For the mystery of iniquity doth already work. Only he who now letteth will let, until you be taken out of the way. And then shall the wicked be revealed, whom Yahuah shall consume with the spirit of his mouth, and shall destroy with the brightness of his coming. Even him whose coming is after the working of Satan, with all power and signs and lying wonders. There go your lying wonders. And with all deceivableness of unrighteousness in them that perish, because they receive not the love of the truth, that they might be saved. And for this cause, Yahuah shall send them strong delusion, that they shall believe a lie, that they all might be damned who believe not the truth, but have pleasure in unrighteousness. So the ones who have turned from the commandments, they've been turned over to a strong delusion. Let's go back and get some more evidence of that in the book of Jubilee. Now, right here it says, but he chose Yahusha to be his people, and he sanctified it and gathered it from amongst all the children of men. That's a good separation, isn't it? For there are many nations and many peoples, and all are his, though they all are his. And over all have he placed spirits and authority to lead them astray from him. There's your answer. The Most High placed these spirits and authority over these wicked nations to lead them astray from him. That's why they're dropping a bucket. That's why they're as spittle to him as a whole nation. This is what I've been trying to explain to y'all on this channel. Only the individuals out of those nations can come into the fold, can come be grafted in. Not the whole nation. Those whole nations is wicked, evil, unrepentant. They're the unrepentant sinners, and they're going to get all the curses. They're going to get all the judgments put upon them, and they are going into slavery and servitude. But there's another special group coming in by faith out of all these nations that's going to believe. And how do you know this? You got to look at the first Exodus and how the mixed multitude came out with us that time. Then you got to look at the scriptures that says they're going to grab, 10 of them is going to grab a hold of a skirt of the one called a Jew, or let's say a Yahusha. 10 of them going to grab hold of us in these last days, and you see them rising up. They're starting to take hold of us. They learning the truth. They coming in by faith, just like the other ones did in the first Exodus. And I want to remind y'all that these same ones is repenting of their sins and their forefathers' sins, just like the scripture said. They are following the manuscript. The Most High going to honor that, just like he honored your confession and your turning to his word. He's always had the door open for anyone who wanted to come and serve him. But those other nations, as a complete total whole, they didn't come to us and try to serve the Most High as a whole back then when we was a whole nation. Why would they do it now? And they're not. That's the reason why you know that that whole Western civilization, Christianity version of our book is not something we should be taking part of, Zion. And you need to leave them alone. Leave them in their world. You bring what you can bring to them. If they reject it, you done already did your thing. Keep serving the Most High. And if they come and ask you about it, yeah, say something. Other than that, who knows? Maybe later on in the future, they'll come to you. But don't press them, don't push them, don't try to force them. Let them come of their own after you've done your part in preaching the raw gospel to them. After that, and they reject it, you got to give them space and time after that. And let the Most High bring the increase. That's his job. But let me read on here. He's going to lead them. He placed spirits and authority over them to lead him astray. But over Yahusha, over us, Zion, he did not appoint any angel or spirit, for he alone is our ruler. And he will preserve us and require us at the hand of his angels and his spirits. That's why you're going through trials and tribulations now. He's putting, he's using his angels and his spirits to bring us in. To do what? Preserve us. And at the hand of all his powers, in order that he may preserve us and bless us, and that we may be his and he may be ours, Zion, from henceforth and forever. Y'all see how this thing is laid out right here? This entity is their deity. That's why they love war. They would honor the deity of war in these last days. And haven't they? Look at all the world wars. Look at all the other wars that's taken place since America rose up. Well, since the West rose up 500 years ago and started whitewashing everything and taking over everywhere. Taking over all the lands and enslaving the people all over the world. Don't think China's slipped the grip of Esau. Believe Esau is at the top of China. Y'all don't see it though. He's there. He got them right where he wants them. And they're playing their part in these last days. But let's get back to the scriptures over here. Let's back it on up to where we left out the Chaldeans. So I just wanted to remind y'all of this, man, because there's so many false prophets going out in these last days. It's a shame. And there are teachers risen up that's not even supposed to be teaching. They wasn't called. Some of them are children of fornication. Y'all need to check with people to see if they were born of fornication and adultery. The Most High didn't call them to preach or teach. He never has throughout his whole scriptures. He always called someone who was of marriage. I was of marriage and I was called. Y'all know my story on how I was called. I'm not saying I'm one of those greats out there, but I'm doing what I can as I learn and grow. I'm helping y'all along the way, best way I can, Zion. And I'm not going to know it all until Hamashiach come. You're not going to know it all until he come. But what we do know, we share with one another. So that's another weapon of war y'all can use to discern who you listening to. Because there's a lot of false prophets on YouTube right now. Some of y'all subscribe to. Y'all think the Most High called them when they made up their mind to call themselves in their own eyes to come on here and do this. How many of them got their own testimony of being called? And also, if you really think about every last prophet or priest who was sent out into the world to preach the word, none of them was born of fornication. None of them was born of adultery. The Most High would not do that according to his priest or his... I'm not saying that y'all couldn't be saved if you were born of fornication and you were born of adultery. I'm not saying that you can't be saved. I'm saying that you can't be a priest. Look what happened to the firstborn of King David. He didn't want to, Most High didn't let that slide. He didn't want that child of adultery to sit on his throne. Y'all better wake up and start reading the scripture and getting a true understanding. This thing is real, and the Most High ain't playing, Zion. So let's get into reading Jeremiah chapter 50. Let me see what my time is. I can't even see what time. Okay, 22 minutes already. Wow. All right, I'm going to read. The word that Yahuah spake against Babylon and against the land of the Chaldeans, the Greeks and the Romans, Esau mixed together, who was all over them. Oh, wait a minute. Am I drawing? Oops, I clicked on draw. By Jeremiah the prophet. Declare ye among the nations and publish, and set up a standard, publish and conceal not. Say Babylon is taken, Baal, that's Baal, is confounded. Mordek is broken in pieces. Her idols are confounded. Her images are broken in pieces. For out of the north there cometh up a nation against her, which shall make her land desolate, and none shall dwell therein. They shall remove, they shall depart, both man and beast. So that kingdom of the north is coming to make her land desolate. In those days and in that time, saith Yahuah, the children of Yahusha shall come. We're being awakened. We're being prepared to go on a journey back home. They and the children of Yahudah together, the northern kingdom and the southern kingdom, going and weeping, they shall go and seek Yahuah, their mighty Elohim. They shall ask the way to Zion with their faces thitherward, saying, Come, and let us join ourselves to Yahuah in a perpetual covenant that shall not be forgotten. And aren't we seeking Zion today? People saying, hey, Zion is over here. No, Zion is over there. Where is Zion, y'all? Seeking Zion, seeking the way to Zion. My people have been lost sheep. That's right. Their shepherds have caused them to go astray. They have turned them away on the mountains. They have gone from mountain to hill. They have forgotten their resting place. The Most High is our resting place. The land of Zion that he prepared for us is our resting place. All that found them have devoured them. All nations that came after us and found us, they devoured us. The Ishmaelites devoured us, the Arabs devoured us, Hamites devoured us, Esau, the Greeks and the Romans all devoured us. Even the other Shemites of Medea and Keturah, children of Keturah, devoured us. Remove out of the midst of Babylon and go forth out of the land of the Chaldeans, the Greeks and the Romans, and be as the he goats before the flocks. For lo, I will raise and cause to come up against Babylon an assembly of great nations from the north country. So right here, we do have a little warning here. Now, I don't want to alarm anybody. If the Most High ain't telling you to get up and go nowhere, don't you get up and go nowhere. But we do have to take this and take a look at it for a second for ourselves and bring this before the Most High. Don't you go nowhere. He's still going to gather us from all nations. But we got to look at this here warning. Remove out of the midst of Babylon and go forth out of the land of the Chaldeans, the Greeks and the Romans, and be as the he goats before the flocks. For lo, I will raise and cause to come up against Babylon an assembly of great nations from the north country. So this is, we see the heat pouring up. The north countries. We see the lands of the north raising their heads up, getting ready to strike like a serpent the head of Babylon. We see it happening. So there's going to come a point in time when the Most High is going to tell us, hey, I need y'all to get to the wilderness somewhere. And they shall set themselves in array against her. From thence she shall be taken. Their arrows shall be as a mighty expert man. None shall return in vain. And Chaldea shall be a spoil. All that spoil her shall be satisfied, saith Yahuah. And it's coming. Because you were glad, because you rejoice, O ye destroyers of mine heritage, because you are grown fat as the heifer at grass and bellow as bulls. And they grow fat through the slavery, slave trade, and destroying us, selling us, selling boys for harlots, selling girls for wine, raping our women and everything, and raping men, fighting us, putting us to fight against each other, using us for entertainment of all type of ways. They got a mighty destruction coming to them, Zion, for all that they've done to us. Your mother shall be sore confounded. She that bare you shall be ashamed. Behold, the innermost of the nations shall be a wilderness, a dry land and a desert. Because of the wrath of Yahweh, it shall not be inhabited, but it shall be wholly desolate. Every one that goeth by Babylon shall be astonished and hiss at her plagues. Put yourself in array against Babylon round about. All ye that bend the bow, shoot at her. Spare no arrows, for she hath sinned against Yahweh. Shout against her round about. She hath given her hand. Her foundations are fallen. Her walls are thrown down. For it is the vengeance of Yahweh. Take vengeance upon her. As she hath done, do unto her. That's right. As she has done unto us, it's going to be done unto her. Cut off the sower from Babylon, and her, and him that handleth the sickle in the time of harvest. For fear of the oppressor's sword, they shall turn every one to his people, and they shall flee every one to his own land. And you have seen some of the rich start moving, trying to move back to their lands, right? Moving to new, they moving out of here. Some of them moving to Europe, back to Europe. Some of them moving to even New Zealand. That wasn't their land though, but they even moving out over there. They don't want to be nowhere in America when it go down. Because this is the boiling pot, the melting pot of Babylon. It's the land of many peoples. Israel, Yasharal is a scattered sheep. The lions have driven him away. First, the king of Assyria have devoured him, and last, this Nebuchadnezzar, king of Babylon, have broken his bones. So when you see this, it's talking about the modern day Nebuchadnezzar today, not the one in the past. How do we know? Because the Most High told you, first the king of Assyria have devoured the northern kingdom, and last this Nebuchadnezzar, king of Babylon, have broken his bones. That's the Romans. The Romans came last and took the kingdom of Yahudah, Judah. The Romans is the modern day Nebuchadnezzar. Nevertheless, therefore thus saith Yahuah of hosts, the Elohim of Yasharal, behold, I will punish the king of Babylon and his land, as I have punished the king of Assyria. And I will bring Yasharal again to his habitation, and he shall feed on Carmel and Bashan, and his soul shall be satisfied upon Mount Ephraim and Gilead. Wow. This is our gathering. In those days and in that time, saith Yahuah, the iniquity of Yasharal shall be sought for, and there shall be none. And the sins of Yehudah, and they shall not be found, for I will pardon them whom I reserve. Go up against the land of Merathaim, even against it, and against the inhabitants of Pekod. Waste and utterly destroy after them, saith Yahuah, and do according to all that I have commanded thee. A sound of battle was in the land, and of great destruction. These heathens, the Kittim, who has the dominion of the whole earth right now, under the leadership of Esau, who was at the very top of this pyramid chart here. The army of Belial, or Baal. Edom. Who was behind them? China and Japan. Sons of the east, Amalekites. This is also Esau. Philistines, some of them Hamites, the bands of Kittim, and all who supporting these sons of darkness, selling out their countries and all over Africa for a few shekels, man. But they're under threat. But really, why would you lose your soul to gain the whole world? Think about that. Zion, I'm going to let y'all read the rest of this. Go ahead and finish it off. And start in chapter 51 next. Get a good understanding of these modern day Chaldeans that this chapter is talking about. Now that the books have been opened to us, we can properly understand the scriptures now. We can properly understand Bible prophecy and how it's laid out for us. Zion. And remember, I wasn't telling anybody to pick up and move and leave. That's something that's going to have to be between you and the Most High when you read this again carefully, slowly yourselves before the Most High, and let Him lead and guide you to what He wants you to do. Might be a little wilderness area out here He'll call you to out here in the States. It might be overseas He might call you to. Might be calling you back to move to Africa so you can start teaching over there, the lost tribes, and helping them out. You never know where the Most High is going to call you to go to. But this here was a warning directly from him, not me. And the proper understanding has to come from the Most High, not me, Zion, or anybody else. Y'all seen what happened with GOCC, telling everybody to leave Babylon, and they leave and they go over there, they end up starving, and it's because they followed a man's instruction and not the Most High. The Most High has a time when he's going to call us into the wilderness away from the destruction, whether we're here in the States or whether we're sent somewhere else. And believe me, if he sends you somewhere else, it's for a purpose. And also, what book was that? When the Ephraimites left early. I think it was the book of Jasher. It talks about that. Can't remember if it was the book of Jasher or book of Jubilees, where the sons of Ephraim, about 40,000 of them, or was it 30? 30,000 of them left Egypt early, following a man saying it's time to go claim our land. And they left. They didn't leave with no food, no nothing. And so when they came up to the land, to the Philistines, by the time they got there, they was famished. You know, they didn't have no food. They couldn't purchase no food because one of them wouldn't sell them no food. And they went up against the Philistines anyway. The Philistines slaughtered them. It was a slaughter, Zion. I think the script said that 5 of them made it back, or was it 10? It was 5 or 10 that actually made it back to Egypt to tell the tale, to tell what happened, because they made a decision to leave Egypt of their own mouth and their own doing by some man who stood up and said, leave. No. There's a time when the Most High is going to tell us when and where to go when he bring that almighty destruction upon this place. There's special designated places right here in this country and other places. He's going to make sure we're not going to be in those cities when they get destroyed, you know. Now this here is very specific. Remove out of the midst of Babylon and go forth out of the land of the Chaldeans. Is saying go forth out of the land of the Chaldeans and be as the he goes before the flocks. So, and this is saying even before the northern country comes, the Most High is assembling great nations to come against this land. We see them coming, Zion. And I know when the time comes, the Most High is going to let us know. Now, even if we go, let's say, south into Mexico or something, or down into Brazil or something like that, you're still going to be gathered from all the nations. It's just this particular land is supposed to be dealt with. And I don't think the Most High wants us to get caught up in that great destruction that's coming. But, like I said, Zion, everyone has to read this on their own and bring this part before the throne of the Most High in prayer, fasting, supplications, and wait on your answers. Because I ain't going to sit up here and lead nobody nowhere until the Most High say, hey, gather the flocks, let's go. It's coming. It's going to be knocking at the door. By that time, we're going to know. He's going to already have it in our spirit and our soul. We're going to know, oh man, it's time. They fixed to destroy this place. Get out of those big cities. You know, we're going to have the warnings from the the angels of the Most High. They're going to be here. They're going to let us know. They're going to lead and guide us to where we need to be. So y'all wait on that, you know. Don't wait on no man to sit here and tell you anything. And besides, many going to get that same message when the time comes. And we're going to meet out there in the wilderness somewhere, no matter where it's at. And after that great destruction, we're going to wait on the sun to come and gather us from wherever we are. If we're still in this land, then we have been protected from all of that. He'll gather us from this land as well. We'll be gathered from all the islands of the sea. So I just wanted to put that disclaimer out there so nobody can sit there and say, oh man, he's leading us astray. He's a false prophet. Oh man, I left because you said I ain't got nothing. I sold all my stuff, my house, my cars. I left my family. I got nothing. I'm stuck over here in Australia, out in the outback because of you. See what I'm saying? It ain't gonna go down like that. Not over here. We're gonna wait on the Most High to speak to us, right? It's gonna come when he sent Michael. And Daniel chapter 12 says that. When he sent Michael to protect his elect. Oh, it's on when Michael get here. Believe me. It's on. Y'all prepare for that. And the 2 witnesses going to be coming too. Y'all wait on that as well. It's going to go down. All right. With that, I'm going to say shalom. Tell me what y'all think in the comment section. And I'll see you on the next video.